Hey guys, welcome back to another episode here on the Realm. And before we get started with today's episode, I'd like to do a quick thank you to all of you guys. I really appreciate all the support that you guys have shown since the start of this channel, and I really enjoy reading the comments down in the comments section. See what you guys have to say about the different episodes and videos I've been making. It really is making it a lot of fun for me. You know, I wasn't sure how I was going to do making YouTube videos, and it's you guys that make this worthwhile and make it a lot of fun for me. So I really appreciate it. So having said that, I've been doing a little bit of work over here off camera since the end of last episode. Quickly run over here so I can show you what I've been up to. So I'm trying to get the storage system for this farm up and running. You can see that I've got the water tubes that are piping the drops over to this middle build in place. Let me get over here so we can get a little bit better look at it. So these are basically just water streams that have some ice amongst them. So these items will just be transported over here to the middle area where they're going to go into an auto sorting system. And it's going to be fed into a huge load of chests that are going to store all the items from all the different farms that are going to be in this area. Originally, I was planning on having a floor level of this storage area about there. But after thinking a little bit, I figured, you know, bigger is better, especially whenever it comes to farm storage. You don't want to run out of space. So I'm going to take it all the way down to the bedrock. You can see that I've started to put some black glass among the bedrock here. I really like the look of how black glass looks whenever it's put in the middle of the bedrock. It doesn't take away from the cool random look of the bedrock, and it gives you something that you can walk on and it's non-spawnable. So there's going to be just a huge bank of chests all the way down here. And it's going to have all the different drops that are sorted out from this farm. And let me get over here a little bit closer to the farm. I can show you the dispenser mechanism. Actually uses just a little bit of redstone and a dropper down here. And as the witches drop down here and die, you can see that the dropper just spits out their items into a water stream and it just shoots them along. And this is what I had in mind whenever I originally was starting on this farm. I wanted to have these water tubes, kind of like aqueducts that were kind of spanning this area and constantly moving items around. And I'll probably even put some supports here and there to make it look more like a real world structure. So we'll get to that at some point. But for now, I want to work on getting this sorting system finished. And it's actually going to be the first sorting system that I've ever completed by myself. I've showed you a couple other farms that have sorting systems on them on this realm, but both of those were actually done by human chaos. Both the Wither Skeleton farm and the Gold farm sorting system were put in there by my buddy and realm owner, Human Chaos. So it's going to be interesting to see how this goes. You can see that the drop's kind of dead end here for now. You know, while I'm not terrible at redstone, I'm not great either. A lot of times I will need to look at a tutorial to do anything that's very complicated at all. It's just that I haven't had all that much experience with redstone. So we'll see how this one goes. And I'm going to use a design that Mumbo Jumbo has used in one of his builds. But before I can get to that, I am actually going to need to go over to my base to get some more materials. I need to get more hoppers, more black glass, some other things. I'm going to go ahead and drop off some of the drops. You can see I've already got a ton of stuff from this witch farm. Yeah, it's starting to rain, nice. So I will cut back in whenever I get to my base. Hey guys, we are back here at my base. And quite a bit of time has actually passed since I recorded that opening sequence for this episode. Some things have popped up that have kept me from finished recording and releasing this video when I expected. I've had some IRL issues pop up at my house that I've had to deal with. And also, this realm is now a server. About a week ago, some of the members here on the realm did some in-busting, me included. We wanted to get some new wings for some new players on the realm that didn't have it. And the performance of the realm was pretty bad. It convinced the realm owner to look into hosting on a server. So now we have transitioned to having this on a server, and the performance is greatly improved, and I'm looking forward to continue playing on this realm. I'm going to continue to call it Realm just because that's what everybody has always called it, and that's the name of this series for my YouTube channel. Also, since I last recorded, Mojang has officially announced a release date for the Nether update, and that is just a matter of a few days from when I'm recording right now. So I am going to be starting a new world and a new series for this YouTube channel along with the release of the Nether update. And this new series is going to be a collaboration with a handful of other content creators and YouTubers that we're all going to be playing on a server together. I'm super excited about this. I'm still going to be playing on this world and releasing videos on it sporadically, but for at least the near future, my main focus for this YouTube channel is going to be on that new world. And more details in the first video will be coming out shortly on that. But for now, having said all that, let's go ahead and get back to this video. So the first thing that I want to do is go ahead and show you the Nether Farm. Not sure if I've really gone over this in my past videos. I might have done it in my original base tour, but I alluded to this farm whenever I did last video, and I talked about the making of the Wither Skeleton farm. And that for all of the red nether brick used in that farm, I had to make a large nether farm. So this is what I made. Just a standard nether farm. I wanted to have a big area, and I kind of just made it up as I was going along. These nether wart blocks are interesting. I've never really used them in a build, and I'm not sure that I love them as blocks, but I figured if I'm ever going to use them, you know, this would be the build to use them in. So I got some nether wart blocks. This guy was a fun story. As I was building this guy just randomly warped to me. I guess another player that was on the realm at the time stumbled across a dog that I supposedly had tamed out in the wild. So I sat him down, I named him Mort, and this is where he stays. So as far as the farm itself, it's just a manually harvested farm. You can harvest netherwort with water, but generally for crop farms, I go with manually harvesting, at least the ones that you can fortune. And a lot of people might not know this, but you can use a fortune pickaxe and get more of certain crops, netherwort being one of them. And while I'm here, I might as well go ahead and demonstrate that. So how I'm going to demonstrate this is I'm going to harvest one side by hand, and then on the other side, I'm going to use a fortune pickaxe, and we are going to compare the yields. A couple shulker boxes here. Let's place one here and one here. I'm going to go ahead and remove the ones in the very middle. We've got equal amounts on both sides. Okay, we got equal amounts of wart on both sides now. Okay, let's go ahead and let's put these over here so they don't confuse us. Okay, let's get an ender chest out. I always keep my fortune pickaxe in my e-chest. There we go. Okay, so on the right side, I'm just going to harvest with my hand. See what we get here. Needed to make a big enough netherwort area to get a bunch of pieces of netherwort. For every block of red nether brick, you actually need 2 pieces of netherwort. Okay, so this side we got almost 3 stacks. Almost 3 stacks. Here's our fortune pick. Let's use it to harvest this side. And supposedly in this update that's coming out very, very soon, they're going to allow fortune to be put on hoes. So right now, in the current version, you have to use a fortune pickaxe to do this, but soon you're going to be able to use a hoe, which makes more sense with farming. Okay, let's see what we got on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a little bit more. So there you go. Not quite 3, and then over 4 on this side. You know, it's not super significant, but especially early game, I mean, that really adds up and it makes quite a bit of difference. I'll replant and clean this area up later because there's still quite a bit I want to show you in this episode. One quick thing, you might have realized that I always carry more than one e-chest on me. And that is for the reason that if you mix up the different picks that you have, you accidentally mine it with a non-silk touch pick and it's destroyed, you know, and that does happen. You got more that you can fall back on. Or if while you're out doing builds, you know, throughout the world, I like to have e-chests everywhere to have access to it. You can always place one down and you've got backups. So that's one thing that I like to do. So let's get on with the video. The main reason why I came back to the base was to grab some items to finish up the sorting system. I also wanted to drop off some of the drops that I collected at the witch farm. I've already done that, dropped off all the redstone, glowstone, gunpowder, all the other things, and put them in my storage areas. But the main things that I wanted to grab to finish this build were black glass, and I need a bunch of hoppers and chests. Chests for the storage, and chests to make hoppers too. So I want to take this opportunity to show you some of the farms that I have access to that I didn't necessarily make that are around here. And let's go ahead and start with the honey farm. And the honey farm is just right across the way. One last note before we leave this area about the fortuning of crops. The main crops that are useful with the fortune enchant are netherwort and then potatoes and carrots. A lot of the other crops, wheat, beets, you only get extra seeds when doing it, so it's not quite as useful. So that's something to keep in mind. Okay, let's go ahead and head over to the honey farm. I'll see you later, buddy. So this is a farm that my base mate built up. I believe that it is a Ilmango design as well. Actually, I have a honey automatic farm over here and a honeycomb over here on this side. Basically just has this area in here where the bees are confined. There's flowers in there for them to pollinate, and as soon as the honey or the honeycomb is ready to go, there's dispensers here that dispense bottles and collect the honey, or shears over here and they get the honeycomb. And this is super productive. I know it's pretty dark back here, but just bear with me. Here is the collection area, and you can see how much honey this thing, you know, pumps out. It's pretty amazing. Quite a bit of redstone involved here. And I'll go over here and show you on this side. It's pretty much identical, but on this side it's just honeycomb instead of honey. And the reason that I'm showing you these farms is a lot of this honey was used in conjunction with the slime from the slime farm over here to make this next farm that I'm going to show you. And this next farm was also built by my base mate, and it is an automatic tree farm. And it's not too far from here. I'm going to go ahead and fly over there. And once I get close to it, I will cut back in. Okay, I'm here at the surface of the base. I'm going to fly around a little bit to give you a lay of the land. This right here is new. That is actually an auto crop farm that my base mate has made recently. So here is the creeper farm and tower that I've shown you in a past video. Right over here is the tree farm that I'm going to show you, and it's right next to the base. Let me fly around to give you an appreciation for the amount of redstone, slime, and honey that was used in the making of this farm. Not to mention all the obsidian. The obsidian towers in the end were farmed pretty significantly to get all of this obsidian. Okay, let's go ahead and go down here, and I can show you how this thing works. So in order to operate this farm, the player sits in this minecart here. It oscillates back and forth as saplings are fed up into the inventory of the player. They place the saplings down. These dispensers shoot bone meal to make them grow. And as the trees are up and full, this piston assembly pushes them over into the blast chamber where TNT comes down, breaks it up, and it's collected down into the water stream and goes in the sorting system below. Let me quickly just flip on this lever to give you an idea of how it works before I cut into some previously recorded video and show this thing in action. Yeah, this farm is pretty amazing, and I hate to sound like a broken record, but Ilmango was the designer of this farm. What can I say? The man's amazing at making Minecraft farms. As usual, link down in the description if you're interested in checking out the video for yourself. And a huge shout out to my base mate Kawaii Ryu, who made this thing in survival. So let's go ahead and grab some wood from the storage area here. I think that just over 2 stacks will be sufficient for what we're making today. And the next thing that I want to show you guys is actually over at the base of the realm owner, Human Chaos. He's got a squid farm over there where I get all of my black dye. I'm going to need that for making the black glass for this build. So I will cut back in once I get over to his base. Okay, we're here at the base of my friend and realm owner, Human Chaos's base. And you can see he's quite a builder. This castle is really something. It's got those bridges that come over to it. A lot of them have hoppers in it, so they pipe items over into the storage area. A really cool roof on this thing, an H like a helipad, and for his name. Got a bunch of auto farms here, including ones that I don't have, so we barter regularly. We can touch down over here. This is an auto bamboo farm here. And then right down over here is going to be the squid farm. And you can see this thing is super productive. It's got a ton of squid in there all the time. And it just kind of uses the natural river that flows through this area. The magma blocks suck them down, take damage, and then the drops are sucked down into a hopper minecart into the storage area. And for his farms, he generally doesn't really look up build guides. He just kind of figures it out as he goes. I think it's a really cool way to play the game. I'm going to go down here to the storage area. He's got an area here where he's working with villagers. And then down here is where the ink goes. As you see, there's plenty to go around. I've got a couple stacks here, and I think that'll be plenty for what I need today. And I'm going to put a link down in the description for Human Chaos's Twitch and YouTube channels. He's been streaming a lot on Twitch lately. He's doing the HCMC challenge. It's hardcore Minecraft, where you try to get 100% of the advancements in the game without dying once. It's a lot of fun to watch. And he's also going to be a big part of the project that I talked about earlier, where I'm going to be joining some other content creators on a server for the new update. So you guys should check out his channel, throw him a sub, throw him a follow. He's Australian and he's a lot of fun. So with all of these different items that I've collected to finish up this build, let's head back over to the witch farm and see if we can finish up this sorting system. We are back over here at the site of the witch farm build, and I am going to get right back into trying to finish up this sorting system that I was working on originally. I'm going to be doing a lot of it off camera in the interest of time. This episode is already getting pretty long. Got the shulker box here with the black glass. Hopefully enough chests and hoppers to finish up this thing. Wow, now that I'm looking at it, I'm thinking that I might need to make more, so we'll see. I am going to cut back in whenever I've made a little bit of progress on it. Well, it seems to happen to me a lot in this game where I seriously underestimate the amount of resources that I need for any given project. And this one is no exception. I had less than a stack of chests and hoppers ready to go, and I needed like over 3 stacks of each. But luckily I had all the materials I needed in the shulkers that I stored my ender chest, so it wasn't a big deal. Let me give you a look at the other side of this chest wall. Just a huge ladder of hoppers that are going to feed the items from the sorting system all the way down. And, you know, this is surely an overkill. You know, I'm not going to need this much storage over here, but why not? You know, I've got the materials, and overkill in this game is a lot of fun, so why not do it? So the last step is to finish setting up the auto sorter here, and fingers are crossed that it's going to work whenever it's done. I actually had to rework this section here. I had black glass that was a foundation for all these mechanisms. I know that they have changed so you can now lay redstone on glass. You used to not be able to, and I just figured that glass would also transmit redstone signals, but apparently that's not the case. So Hopefully this time it's gonna work. Okay, I've got everything that I need here, hopefully. I think that I need to put in 41 items of whatever needs to be sorted in the first item slot, fill the rest with dummy items, and then the first item of that same kind that comes through will be allowed to go through and down into the system. So the first two are going to be redstone. The reason why I have two of them instead of just one for each one is, as I was testing this, occasionally the sheer amount of items that would come through here would flood the first hopper and it would bypass it. So I want to make sure that I catch as much that I can of each item, that I'm not wasting anything. So we'll see how this sorting system works. Hopefully well. I'm going to need some more placeholder blocks. Okay, let's make this one gunpowder. One's gunpowder. Okay, I'm going to have to get a few more placeholder blocks for this last little bit, and then I will fire it up and see if it works. Okay, we are ready to go ahead and test this system. I just need to place one more water source right here to bring the items down the chute. Wow, look at all that stuff. Okay, I better pick up all this stuff so it doesn't bog down the system initially. And let's go ahead and place a water stream right there and see what happens. Okay, a good sign. Looks like the sugar went down in the last two like it should. Some redstone, it should go into the first one. Okay, good, good. Glowstone here, it should go in the third and fourth. Bam, okay. And you can see not all of the items are being picked up in the system right now. I don't have sorters for all of the different items that can come through here right now. Got to get 3 others for the spider eyes, the bottles, and the sticks over here on this. So I'm going to have to turn the corner with this water stream. But I will work on that between the next episodes. I think that that is just going to about do it for this one. I'm going to come down here and double check these chests to make sure everything's being deposited correctly. Yeah, this thing is working like a charm. So before next episode, I'll work on the next 3 sorters that are going to be the spider eyes, sticks, and bottles. We'll work a little bit more on this middle build. I think I'm going to put a water elevator over here on this side to move between the different floors. I still need to do this top floor. It has all the things that that build over there has, and just kind of make this build complete. I still got quite a bit of work to do over here. But like I said, I am going to be focusing in the near future on the server that I'm going to be joining after the Nether update hits. I'm still going to be making content on this server and putting out new episodes, but I hope you guys will come over and check out my new series. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So if you guys enjoyed this video, I'd really appreciate if you hit that like button. If you want to see more content like this in the future, please subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.